When you think about dimensions in music, there's multiple ways you can alter the perception of the listener. First of all, you got like volume. So if something is low in volume, it can seem like it's far away. If it's loud, it can seem like it's close to you. You got stereo width, and where you can make the sound seem like it's coming from the sides, and mono content will really translate to front. You got compression, which I almost imagine sometimes as height, because when you got something really compressed, it seems like very ground level, and when it's dynamic, you can hear the music go up and down. And then you got reverbs, which determines like the atmosphere in which the music is playing, so the room. Then you got panning, so you can make sound seem like it's coming from the right or the left. And then how much you will pan your different instruments will determine the size of your band, so to speak. If we're imagining like a band, like there's a drum all the way to the left in the back, and then there's a guitar a little bit to the left but more in the front. Then you also got EQs, so when you thin out a vocal, it can also seem like thinner, almost kind of far away, and when it's thick, you can make it sound a bit more in front, right? So when we're talking about back vocals, it really depends. If I have like a back vocal that is really made to, I feel like, glue to the main vocal, that's on the same type of tone and also recorded with the same type of volume levels, then I'm gonna process it either very similar to the main vocal, or in this case, for this back vocal here, I copy and pasted it, and then I did a parallel track with a delay that's gonna add my dimension to it. I have basically a delay here, an imager, if I wanted to make it seem very wide. But then I have a back vocal here that's made like to diverge from the main vocal highly. So then I have the same processing here, but then I'm adding some stereo effects. I'm adding some panning here, as well as reverbs directly onto the tracks. Let's hear the whole track first.
Still not high, but still got lost. 3-shot polos, all the cost. 40s teed up on the cost. I just drank them playing golf. Teleport the way I drive. When I'm too fucked up inside. Warping lines outside my dashboard. Hope I trace them back alive.
So you can really hear like this back vocal is meant to really diverge and stand out from the main vocal. And this one is really, when it's not playing with the delay, it's adding to the track. It's just enhancing the main vocal. So he's finishing off his words on top, you know.
Still not high, but still got lost. 3-shot polos, all the cost. 40s teed up on the cost. I just drank them playing golf. Teleport the way I drive. When I'm
and then you really hear this one sounding different. And it's a good idea to have like different type of mixes for your back vocals. Gonna make the track wider and more expressive. I have then this back vocal here.
lost. We don't wanna do this anymore.
Reverb directly onto the back vocal itself, and you put like the mix, like here it's at 34%, then you get like a really drowned vocal. I wouldn't do this for a main vocal, I would put it on a parallel, so then I'm keeping all the dry intact and I just have an added reverb. With this, sometimes I like to put it directly on the track so it sounds very like drowned, and it just adds to the whole dimensional feeling of the song. And I just go by feeling, but my main thing usually is I like to start with either I copy and paste my settings from the main vocal, if it's on the same type of tone, or from the same person, of course, and then I add to it, or I would use some sort of bus, so then I have at least some home ground that connects with the main vocal, and then I have some things that stand out. So this back vocal here
Still got all of
is basically mixed identical to the main vocal, and then I have a parallel track with a reverb, and then the reverb itself is being put through an imager, which first sterilizes the signal, so like a doubler, and then I add width to the imager, and then I have a reverb directly onto the delay, so then the delay itself sounds kind of drowned, and it's at 75% wet, and then I put another S1 imager on top of that, and then my EQ at the end, I don't know, I was feeling like a surfer or something. No, but you know, I just go by feeling, right?
Still got all of on the
Right, so very spacey kind of track. Then I have this back vocal here. Let me put it with the main vocal so you can really hear how it diverges from each other.
Port the way I drive when I'm too fucked up inside. Warping
What I have here is the same processing again up to here. I have a doubler, and with the doubler I'm removing some of the mono content, so I really want it to sound far away, right? Remember, mono sounds close. And then I have a reverb that is also directly onto the channel. It's 100% wet, but the way this reverb works is if you put the reverb amount quite low, you get some dry signal in. It's a long time. The long reverbs sound farther in my opinion, or because they sound like in a bigger place, like if they're coming from space, you know? And then I have a S1 imager that I'm adding some pan content to with some asymmetry, then just a filter. The filter really makes it diverge a lot. Let me bypass without the filter.
Bored the way I drive when I'm too fucked up inside. Bored the way I drive when I'm too fucked up inside. Warping lines outside my dashboard, hold by tracing.
Just because also I'm removing a lot of competition between those two vocals again, so it'll make them stand out from each other even more. That's pretty much how I mix my back vocals. Let me give you a quick listen.
All the 40s teed up on the cars. I just drank them playing golf. Teleport the way I drive when I'm too fucked up inside. Warping lines outside my dashboard, hold by tracing back alive. Yeah, knitting my frog, got a brand new stitch. Cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch. Feeding.
That's pretty much it. If you have some more questions, don't be shy to ask. Peace out.